January 2023. Welcome to this energetic overview of the month and welcome into this new year with your new vibration, and hopefully you have ended the year well and are in eager expectation of what you can create in 2023. Now, as always, I share with you what I perceive for every individual on an individual level. Now, this may be resonating with you or not, because everyone is on their individual path, but for a lot of people, this may be the case, the way what I sense, and also on the collective level. Now, for January 2023, the first topic that is coming up as a big one is self-empowerment. And this means that I'm speaking to you from the new world. And in the new world, we all feel self-empowered. And in the new world, we all know that we have not only the right to live as we wish and to decide for ourselves, but we also have the responsibility, self-responsibility. And this energy of the new world is coming into January 2023. And it speaks about the topic of self-empowerment, realizing again that no one can tell you anything. You are a sovereign being. You are a sovereign, energetic manifestation of the divine. And you choose who you want to follow, who you want to believe, who you want to obey, and what you want to adopt as your cage or as your limitational framework. We choose that ourselves. Because we see that some people live seemingly with no limitations. They do whatever they want to do, whenever they want to do. They don't even obey the laws. And they get away with it, or it works for them. And we wonder, how can this be when so many other people don't have that experience and cannot do that? Everything is possible, and what is possible is up to us, because everything is down to our own view of life and our own view of limitations, our own view of directions, our own view of boundaries. So now we get to claim again our responsibility for ourselves and our power for ourselves. This means we get to analyze, where do we give our power away? Who do we think can tell us anything? And now you can scan your whole life with that in terms of like your life situation. Now, who do I actually give value to in terms of their opinion or what they want from me, their expectation, and who do I put in the position where I carry out what they want, or where I obey them in a way? And this can be whether it's your partner, whether it's your parents, whether it's your environment, your neighborhood, your boss, your co-workers, in whatever context, your state, your government. Who do you give power over you? Because giving away power is an active act. It's not like, well, there's nothing I can do. That's a belief you have adopted. It's like, well, everyone says we have to obey the law, so we have to obey the law. That's the law. You can either, though, adopt this as your belief, or you can say, this is what everybody else believes. For me, I have a different kind of truth. Now, I'm not saying do whatever unlawful, but I'm saying ask yourself what makes sense to you and live by your truth. So this requires, yes, self-inquiry, self-analysis, and then also, though, the next step is, once we do that and once we see again that, boy, I've given my power away to so many people or situations or beliefs that I've had, I can actually get them back. And you don't do this with like a grudge or grumbling and annoyed that you gave it away or that others took it. You do it with understanding and wisdom of where you have been before and now where you're now. And you say, right, I integrate my power back into me. And I'm making my own decisions in certain areas. And people may be surprised, but so what? Let them be surprised. That's fine. I surprise myself. How cool. Yeah, it's like I take my power back. So this is January 2023 is so much about self-empowerment. And do not see yourself as a victim, and do not blame others, and do not blame yourself either for mistakes or giving away your power. But simply see why you have done it, totally makes sense, and how you want it to be instead. And come back into your own creativeness, into your own creation, creator beingness. Yes? And now there's another aspect that every time when I tuned into the energies of 2023, there was a word that came up that is like the word for the year, which oftentimes it's been named at the end of the year. There is oftentimes kind of a word or a phrase that is kind of the phrase for the past year or the word for the past year. I'm not sure if you have heard of that, but pretty much I think you have. I can't remember what the ones for the last year were, and they may differ in different countries. But there's always this kind of one word that we have heard so often. Oftentimes it's a new word that has been created by something recent or actual that had come up during the year. And now for 2023, interestingly enough, it's a word that's not exactly spiritual. So it surprised me when I got this, and it may surprise you, but I know why it's there, and I know what it wants to tell us. The word at the end of 2023 that should be heard the most, or be one of the most important words that have been used throughout the year, now hold on, is the word no. And no is not a very spiritual word, right? We all know, okay, the universe doesn't hear what we don't want, it hears what we do want, and we need to focus on what we do want and the positive phrasing. And I'm all about the words, as you know. So it surprised me when this came up again and again and again. I see it on signs that people are holding up, and it just seems to be that there is an importance in 2023 to say no to certain things. And the things we say no to, what I'm being shown is like how the deceiver or deceiving forces are making offers. And for many of us, this is not surprising. Offers are being made to the general population, whoever that is, whatever they think that is. Offers are being made, and they are being packaged in a way that should trick us into believing it's good for us, that trick us into saying yes, into consenting. And what comes up again and again is make a decision. Now, we're all free to choose. We have free will. But the word no seems to be so important. And now what I received with this, when I kind of thought, well, that's not a very spiritual practice to say no. What I received with this was that there can be a lot of power in stating a decisive no. A no that is not bendable anymore. There is no, let's see, and maybe, and I'm not sure. A no when it's been decided and when it's been placed on top of a rock, a solid rock of decision, placed upon it is the no. There is no going backwards. That's it. It's a no. And this no has power. and it emphasizes our own empowerment, our self-empowerment. So it all makes sense. But the next step, obviously, what we're doing is, once we say no to whatever is being offered, to whatever is being made tasty for us, but we sense it's not what we want, or we sense it's actually not good for us, and it's another attempt to overpower us or have power over us or control or lead us a certain path that is not ours, we say no, and then we move on. We move on with our focus to what we say yes to. So it's like, no, that's not what I choose. And then we straight away, you don't have to repeat the no 100 times and focus on the areas you say no to, because that would be counterproductive. You say your no, and then you focus on you. You focus on what you want. And this means you get to, number one, state what you don't want, and then create what you do want. And this is also part of the responsibility. It's not just saying, no, I don't want this, I don't want that, but I'm sitting around waiting for maybe better offers or someone who has a better suggestion. You create it. You create the offers. You create the suggestion to yourself what it is you want to live, how you want to live, who you're being while here on earth. So we then, by saying no to certain, let me put it in such a way that is maybe another slant on it. If we say no to dark stuff, then we say yes to light stuff. We say yes to the light. We say yes to the love, to the freedom, to the power, to the self-determination, to unlimited creative energy. And by saying yes to that, we also have to commit to living it. We have to commit to putting it into action, into the world, to embodying it. So that way we increase our light, and we learn and we sift through the day, every day, figuring out how can I be more light? How do I do this? How am I more light in this situation? How am I more freedom and more empowering of others in that situation? And I'm speaking to you from the New World consciousness already. And all of us, we have learned to follow and believe and obey other people because we've all been children. And the adults have taken on the role of the leaders and have told us we have to obey them, we have to listen to them, we have to do what they say. And it's very difficult sometimes for people, or it's always difficult possibly for people, to find their own voice again and to take the responsibility upon themselves again and find their own power. And when they're adults, and some struggle with that their whole life, they continue living their life following other people's suggestions, other people's wants, other people's expectations, the law, the government, the whoever. And they think that that's normal, but they're not happy in that feeling of, I have no say in my own life. I follow what other people tell me to do and what they want me to do and what I'm expected to do. But in the new world, what we're going to do is, we're like humans, we will stop telling or treating our young souls, who are not young souls, but the souls in young bodies, the children, that they should ignore their inner voice and should listen to some adult who has no connection with their inner voice either, but by the way, most of them, right, who just follow what they have been told and taught, how they think the world works. We will guide our children in the future, in the new world. We will accompany them. We will walk beside them. Yes, guiding, but not telling, not imposing, not bossing them around, not making them do things day in, day out they don't want to do. We will accompany them in keeping their own empowerment, in keeping their own power over themselves, their own determination over themselves, that they get to decide how they want to live, what they want to do. Now, obviously, we will guide them in terms of keeping them safe and sharing our wisdom, but we will also always respect their free will, respect where they're at, and their desires and their own wishes and their own right for self-determination. That's the new world, and that's what we're heading, where we're heading. And so in January 2023 now, that's a topic that is very strongly here, because it means us as adults, you, being a part of the creation of the new world, you have to take your own power back first, so that you will be the light for others how to do it, and you will be able to encourage others to do this. And then gradually, as we move down through the years, we will stop, let's say, suppressing young people for so long and teaching them how to follow, and we will nourish their own intuition, their own connection with their own true wisdom, which we all have inside us. So the younger and younger then, they will start to be empowered, and not to use it against others, but to help others along the path. Because we will also, in that new consciousness of the new world, of new earth, we will also be so much bathing in the energies and frequencies of love and compassion. That's the dimension we're going into. That's the density we're going into. And in that, we will, the expansion of freedom, for me, seems to be a very important part. And it actually starts with January 2023. Now, it may be a long road ahead, but it starts now. Because we're at the start of this year, I have a gift for you. I'm going to give you a present on January 7th, like on Saturday. I am going to raise the frequency and the vibration for anyone who would want that. So I'm going to do a distance session with you if you want that, if this resonates. You can sign in, you just put your email in and your name so that I know you're on board and you wish to receive these very high divine frequencies. And it's for free, it doesn't cost anything. It's my gift, my present for anybody who would like to receive this, because we can move into and upgrade our frequency and the emission of the light of our cells, of our body. And I want to be of assistance in that and share what I can share in transmitting this frequency elevation to you, so that you, upgrading and receiving these high vibes, that you realize I can heal myself, that you realize with these frequencies, they're so supportive. I can create abundance. I can create love in my life. I can be who I want to be more and more each day. And these frequencies are supporting me in becoming more light, in becoming more joy, in becoming more empowerment and freedom. These frequencies are helping me in healing maybe old wounds. These frequencies are helping me in forgiving what I thought I may not be able to forgive. These frequencies will support you with this. So if you want this gift, I'm going to give it to you. Just sign up. It's in the box below. And also I'm going to put the link in the comments. Sign up and we're going to do this together. We're going to do this together. We are going to spend 2023 more and more and more in a higher and higher frequency, higher and higher vibration. And we will witness what this high vibration will do and create in our own lives, how it will transform us and our life. We will witness that, and we say yes to that. I'm going to bless you, love you and leave you for today, and we'll talk again next time if you want to.